Nature possesses no compassion for those who wander its heights. Here, in the heart of the eternal frost, every single breath is a hard-fought victory. A single mistake on these summits is more than an accident. It is a death sentence hanging by a thread over the frozen, silent abyss below. She is a master of the vertical world, moving with a grace that defies gravity, unaware that her next step will change everything in a heartbeat. So confidence is a fragile shield when the mountains decide to reclaim their territory. Strength and skill are the only things keeping her from the long fall. The silence of the high altitude is heavy, broken only by the rhythmic strike of her ice axe against the unforgiving ancient stone and ice. Beneath the beauty lies a deadly trap. The mountain waits for a moment of weakness, a moment of misplaced trust in the stability of the world. Then, the world shatters. Yes, a sickening crack echoes through the valley as the stone gives way, sending her plummeting into the white, cold, unknown below. Time slows down in the face of death. The air is ripped from her lungs as the ground rushes up to meet her with violent force. The sound of breaking bone is dry and hollow, a final punctuation mark to her ascent. The silence that follows is even more terrifying than the fall. Solitude becomes her only companion. As the blood seeps into the pristine snow, and the sun begins to dip below the horizon, taking the warmth with it. Abandoned by luck and broken by the earth, she is now a small speck of red in a vast world of white. The long night begins. Pain is a constant companion in the sub-zero dark. She fights the urge to scream, focusing every ounce of energy on securing her shattered limb. Survival is not a choice. It is a reflex. With every clumsy movement, she battles the creeping numbness that threatens to pull her into eternal sleep. A spark in the darkness, a fragile hope against the absolute zero of the night. But fire attracts more than just the warmth of the living. In the shadows, the mountain comes alive. The predators of the peaks are waking up, and they can smell the scent of blood on the wind. When a human becomes prey, the world changes. The hierarchy of nature is reasserted in the glow of a hunter's eyes, watching and waiting for weakness. The pack has found her. They move with a silent coordination that speaks of 1,000 years of hunting, closing the circle around the wounded interloper. Hunger is a powerful motivator. In the depths of winter, a fallen climber is not a person, but a feast that will ensure the pack's survival. Her heart hammers against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the stillness. She is cornered, broken, but her instinct to live is still burning bright. The leader steps forward to claim the prize. He sees her fear, but he also sees the steel in her hands as she prepares for the end. One breath, one moment. The boundary between the hunter and the hunted is about to be crossed in a spray of snow and cold, red blood. Everything disappears except the fight. The mountain, the cold, the pain. All gone, replaced by the simple, brutal necessity of killing to stay alive. Then, a violent intrusion. An artificial light cuts through the primal darkness, shattering the hunt and blinding the beasts that were ready to strike. Thunder follows the light. The sharp report of a gun sends the wolves retreating into the shadows, their hunger outweighed by the fear of man. A savior appears from the void. But in these desolate lands, those who wander alone are often more dangerous than the wolves they hunt. Sometimes the hand that pulls you from the grave is the same one that dug it. Her nightmare has not ended. It has only changed shape. Warmth is a deceptive comfort. Inside the shelter, the air is thick with the smell of old pine, wood smoke, and a lingering, unsettling metallic scent. He is a man of few words, his silhouette a dark blot against the orange flames. He saved her life, yet the silence between them is heavy. Gratitude is slowly being replaced by an instinctive dread. Something about the way he moves, the way he doesn't look her in the eye, feels wrong. His kindness feels like a mask. Every gesture is too precise. Every word too hollow, as if he is playing a part he has practiced many times. The marks on his skin tell a story of violence, of a life lived far outside the boundaries of the law and the eyes of society. Communication is a bridge he refuses to cross. He is a hermit of the heights, a ghost who has forgotten the sound of a human voice. The walls hold secrets. Among the furs of wolves and bears hang the remnants of lives that ended here, ornaments of a more sinister collection. With his departure, the cabin feels even smaller. The silence is no longer a relief. It is a weight pressing down on her chest, urging action. Driven by a sudden, sharp intuition, she searches for the truth. Her hands fumble with the heavy canvas, searching for a sign of who he is. The realization hits like a physical blow. A dozen names, a dozen faces, all lost to the mountain, now sitting in the bottom of a killer's bag. The evidence is undeniable. She is not in a sanctuary. She is in a slaughterhouse, and the butcher will be back for his next task soon. The mountain didn't take them. He did. The wolves were just the cleanup crew for a predator far more cunning and cruel than any animal. The countdown begins. Every footstep on the ice is a heartbeat closer to her discovery. She has seconds to hide the evidence and her fear. The agony in her limb is nothing compared to the ice in her veins. She must be the perfect victim, silent and unsuspecting until she can run. And the door opens, and the cold air of the mountain rushes in once more. The predator has returned to the den, unaware his prey is awake. Suspicion hangs in the air like a thick fog. He watches her, gauging her stillness, his instinct sensing a shift in the room's atmosphere. Escape is the only option, even with a broken body. She moves like a shadow, centimeter by painful centimeter, across the creaking wooden floor. A single sound could be her end. She holds her breath until her lungs burn, waiting for the predator to drift back into his dark dreams. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. The storm is a wall of white, a chaotic shield that hides her but also seeks to freeze her. She is erasing herself from the world. Every trace of her passage is swallowed by the blizzard, leaving no trail for the man or the beast. The hunt is on once more. The predator has realized his prize has slipped through his fingers, and his rage is louder than the howling wind. He screams her name, a jagged sound of fury that cuts through the storm. He is no longer a man, he is a monster unleashed. So close she can hear his heavy breathing. She presses her back against the cold stone, praying the white veil of the storm remains unbroken. The triangle of death is complete. The Danthu and the demon are both searching for the same thing in the heart of the blinding storm. Trapped between two nightmares, she has nowhere to turn. The mountain has become a chessboard, and every move she makes could be her last. Violence triggers chaos. By drawing blood, the man has turned the wolves' hunger into a vengeful frenzy, shifting the focus of the hunt. The predator becomes the prey. In his arrogance, he forgot that in this frozen wasteland, the pack always has the final word over the individual. A symphony of screams and snarls. The man who thought he was the king of the mountain is now just another piece of meat in the storm. She finds strength she never knew she possessed. Every pull is a testament to the human will to survive, rising above the carnage on the ground. The mountain offers a temporary sanctuary. High above the red snow, she finds a sliver of safety in the cold embrace of the ancient stone. The darkness swallows the killer. Justice in the wilderness is swift, brutal, and utterly indifferent to the morality of the men who die there. Silence returns to the valley, but it is a different kind of silence. The hunt is over, and only one survivor remains in the frozen heart. The storm breaks with the coming of the light. The world is reborn in a mask of purity, hiding the horrors of the previous 48 hours. The morning sun brings no warmth, only the clarity of her situation. She is still alone.